Hey everybody, this is Dust for Listed on Gaming, playing some blue-red Through the Breach Moon. So this is a blue-red tempo control deck that's trying to get to the end game of Through the Breach with Emrakul the Promised End, to kind of end the game with Annihilator 6, deal your opponent 15. To that end, you have Opt and Serum Visions to set up your draw steps, Remand and Cryptic Command, kind of either slow down or counter your opponent's spells. Force Snapcaster Mage with Lightning Bolt and Anger of the Gods to keep your opponent's creatures under control. A couple of Vendilion clicks for some disruption / pressure. 2 copies of Blood Moon to disrupt what your opponent's doing. 2 Jace the Mind Sculptor because Jace is good, especially when you have fetch lands in your deck. Helps you define your combo pieces, helps you to accrue card advantage. Beyond that, you have a bunch of islands, bunch of fetch lands, bunch of shock lands to facilitate your various casting costs. A couple of Desolate Lighthouses to kind of grind through, find your combo pieces in the mid game if you don't have a Blood Moon kind of locking things out, or Blood Moon isn't good in the matchup. Beyond that, the deck I saw had a transformational sideboard of not getting into that debate right now, Space Marine, but that's to each person their own opinion. 2 Sarkon and 4 Niv Mizzet Parun as kind of a transformational sideboard outside of the Through the Breach Emrakul combo. Couple Engineered Explosives to deal with things like Tarmogoyf and Death Shadow that can get out of reach for things to get killed by lightning bolts. Couple Anger of the Gods when you need some more sweepers. Good against things like Dredge and all the various... Couple copies of a Braid for any type of artifact decks and anything else that bolt effects are good against, and then another additional Blood Moon in matchups where that's good. So beyond that, what are we missing that the deck is not complete? Blue-red Breach. What is it saying? No, just a couple minutes. Why is it saying deck contains cards not in your collection? Alright, what cards is it saying we don't have? Not seeing any of the goofy card things that normally indicate we don't have the card. Oh, there's 3 copies of Emrakul. Weird. I'm guessing stuff that was discussed after I signed off last time. Oh, I don't have the Engineered Explosives. That's why it's going haywire here. See if we can't get those 2 Engineered Explosives going. Clear. Get some Engineered Explosives. I don't know, maybe it's because I left the computer didn't completely shut down, so it might have been still open on YouTube, even if I wasn't streaming. So maybe that's why the comments are still appearing. But anyways, we'll see if this Niv Mizzet sideboard package works out at all, or if it's just kind of blowing smoke. This is the package that was in the build that I basing this off of, was the 4 copies of Madcap Experiment and 2 copies of Platinum Empyrean. So, not exactly the same thing, but it is a little bit of a transformational way to win the game, especially against more controlling or possibly mid-range decks that are boarding out some of their creature kill spells that can deal with something like Niv Mizzet. Because I felt like throwing them in there pretty much. I don't know about the card being bad in Standard. It's actually quite good. I've won quite a few matches with the Izzet Drake's deck having Niv Mizzet main, so we'll see. Tier Fun had a video where he was main decking 4 of them, and the deck seemed to perform alright, so figured it might be worth throwing a few into the sideboard. We shall see how it performs. Hopefully we'll get through some of these matches quickly so I don't have to finish it later. But yeah, this is just a tempo list. This could easily bomb in this league, because I don't have like any answers to big creatures in the deck. And relying on finding a 3 of and a 3 of to win the game pretty much. I mean, we can Lightning Bolt, Snap Lightning Bolt, Vendilion, click people and tempo them out, but obviously the combo is the primary way we win the game, game 1. Sure, opponent good luck. Yeah, I think we keep this hand. Well, I don't know if he's good or bad or not. I'm not, like, debating that point. It's quite possible it's a terrible Magic card. And we're going to go immediately up against a deck that has discard spells. So, we're definitely losing our Blood Moon in this game. Go ahead and throw Opt up here. Alright, hit a land drop. Well, it's probably going to take our Blood Moon and presume, unless they're a unless they are trying to set up like a Tarmogoyf next turn. They took Remand and they're leaving us Blood Moon. Alright. I honestly think Esper is pretty terrible right now. Maybe once the mana base gets better. And I actually sold most of my Esper cards. Like, I sold my extra Teferis, I sold my Vraska's Contempts. Presuming our opponent's just going to fetch Forest here. Yep, Overgrown Tomb. It's kind of ballsy knowing I've got Blood Moon in the works, isn't it? Why would you not fetch Forest there unless you already have a Forest in your hand? I don't really have one right now. Why aren't what, Foz? Oh, I guess they did have the Forest. Which Means Bloodbraid Elf incoming. What am I pitching here? Alright, there's the breach. If you want a good pile of cards that does well, just play Golgari. I was gonna say Golgari is the closest thing you get to a good pile of cards. Alright, not seeing any of our cantrips to speak of, and this Blood Moon isn't really doing a whole lot here. Currently, I usually play Drakes, either the controlling version. Some people consider them cushions, some people don't. Is this Kolaghan's command? Snapcaster Mage is interesting here. I think we're leaving that on top. You don't need to add white for life gain. Are you talking about Golgari Thaws? It already has mass removal and life gain. Latter-day Saints is the proper term for Mormons. It's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's an interesting type Tarmogoyf. Alright, Lightning Bolt means we have to Snapcaster Lightning Bolt this turn. We have a removal spell word out here. Yep, Fatal Push. Let's get these Anger of the Gods out of the deck. Get the Engineered Explosives in. Get the Anger of the Gods out. Blood Moon's fine, not great. Yeah, the new Goyf art's pretty sweet. There aren't any manlands, Jan, because we're playing Blood Moon. Braid only kills some of their stuff. Clicks, that, the other thing. Let's cut a cryptic command, go like that. This hand's okay, it does need some. Discard spell on one, of course, because, you know, Jund things. Yeah, pretty much. Jund being Jund. Go ahead and click them to get that Scavenging Ooze out of their hands, see what else they got going on. Tarmogoyf, Ooze. Thanks, Fatal Push. We'll just take Ooze here. Don't really care about any of their other cards for it now. No, no triple Liliana. That's only when we're playing, Grixis Shadow. That hand was so stupid. The hand was like what? Like Dismember, Fatal Push, 3 Lilianas or something really stupid. Okay, sure, resolves. I think our Jundaphone forgot that they didn't have landfall there, or not landfall. And I just oh, we're all doing good, man. I'm casting Snapcaster Mages before I cast the Serum Visions I wanted to flash back. Let's bottom that. Bottom that, I guess. Pistol squats? Don't even know what it is. Sure, got another Tarma Goofy. Sounds kind of rough. Why don't opponents play around Blood Moon when they clearly can't beat the card? I think we just pass here, playing on Bolt Stat Bolting. That's the general consensus. Maybe the consensus is overrated. To land Jace on an empty board here. Go ahead and and keep that uncastable spell on the top of your deck. We would have killed them next turn anyway with Emrakul. So this game on the draw is going to be a little bit rougher. But we really don't have a whole lot else to shift around against Jund. I mean, this hand's fine. Goodbye, Blood Moon. Yep. Opponent finally realizing they can't beat the card Blood Moon consistently. Yeah, Thoughtseize Emrakul. That's it, we're probably going to get Lily on it here and hate our lives. Another Emrakul? Sure. No, it wasn't for no reason. I wanted to hold up red mana. Wanted to hold up a Braid in case they had like a Confidant or something. And also discourage Scavenging Ooze. Fortunately, this Blood Moon isn't going to be particularly good, but... presume our opponent will fetch and go grab a swamp here. I don't know that we win, but we're not in terrible shape because now they can't cast Liliana. Alright, now I think it's a pretty good chance we win. How many Kolaghan's commands do they have? I was like, good lord, how many Kolaghan's commands do they have? Alright, what's your Blood Moon crap out? Eh. Do I counter the Inquisition? I feel like I'm just supposed to counter draw the Inquisition. Can take a hit for 3. Don't really care about that. Huh. Desperate Lighthouse. That's a great card when we have Blood Moon in play. Of course you have a Tarmogoyf. Hey, we could cast a Niv Mizzet through our Blood Moon this time. Let's try to do block and a breed. Depends on what their follow-up is here. Like I said, it depends on what our opponent's follow-up is here. If they're sitting on like a bunch of removal spells and crap we don't care about, they've already wasted Kolaghan's commands, so it's not like they have a whole lot of recursion ability right now. And we know they have things like Kitchen Finks in their deck, so they might just be sitting on a bunch of incastables. I'm just going to hold these lands in my hand. I have no reason to play them. In fact, our opponent is actually making it far better for us that we kept these lands in hand. Presume a Liliana here. Yep. Their last card was a Fatal Push. Is that a pretty good one? I know they have a shuffle effect in play. They didn't shuffle, interesting. Yep. Got a Dark Confidant. Getting a Braid here. Emrakul. Guess we put back Emrakul and Blood Moon for right now. Snapcaster Mage. Braid here. Could have definitely held up Cryptic Command, but I'm much more interested in them not drawing extra cards. Pitch the Emrakul we don't care about, right? Oop. Put the Emrakul on bottom, hold the Lightning Bolt on top. Tarmogoyf would be an Assassin's Trophy. That one's annoying. Sure. Alright, I mean... definitely holding on to this bolt, see what our opponent draws. Does make me wonder what's in our opponent's hand. Sure. Like Legacy, because you can become the Monarch. So they're extracting our Cryptic Commands out of our deck. Which is kind of annoying, but it's also whatever. Lightning Bolt? I don't follow. Certain decks you don't necessarily need duels to play. Black-Red, Reanimator you can somewhat get away with playing Blood Crypts. Miracles you can get away with playing like a copy or two of Hallowed Fountain. Um, Death Shadow, you can almost get away with playing 4 copies of Watery Grave instead of the 3-2 split. But I'm acknowledging you guys to a point, but read the conversation up above. Like, read the conversation that was saved in chat whenever things were offline. Looks like humans. Yep. So our remands are going to be pretty bad. So remand is terrible. Jace isn't too good here. Pass the turn. This feels like a game we're going to yep. Take your pick. My hand's terrible, friend. Like, I appreciate you guys watching, but I don't appreciate the game playing. So, you know? There's a Snapcaster Mage. Not exactly the best here. The part about Space Marine asking you when you're going to admit you were going to tell me you weren't really a Muslim, and you said something about along the lines of you didn't expect me to know so much about it. You're gonna have to figure out something else like paganism. Does that ring a bell? I think we remand this. Just because it's one of the few spells we actually can remand. Yep. Oh, he saw that. So, I don't know what kind of games you guys are playing. I mean, it's whatever. Would like to draw Anger of the Gods next turn, I think. I think one of our 2 main deck Angers would be pretty nice here. Well, it's fun. I mean, I understand people having fun and ribbing other people, but that is kind of, is a little bit, don't know what the right word would be. Snapcast back Serum Visions here. I'm just pretty straight up with everybody, and it's kind of a slap in the face when people are not trustworthy, just jokesters, tricksters, however you want to call it. If we would have found an Anger of the Gods, I think would have been in pretty good shape. Anger of the Gods into, we have yet another copy of... Sure. Got another Kite Sail freebooter. I mean, you get your copy of... Probably gonna have to take Blood Moon here. We are rapidly running out of the abilities to draw cards that matter. At least after sideboarding, we get access to 2 more Anger of the Gods, a couple Engineered Explosives, and a couple of Abrades. Get some of these god-awful remands out of our deck. Took one of our Through the Breaches. Interesting. Cryptic Command. Blood Moon might keep us alive for a turn here. I shouldn't have bought on that other island, huh? Oh well. Guys, it's fine. I can have fun without the deceit, you know? They have 1 mana human, we're dead here. If they don't, we live at 1. And then I don't know what we have to get out of it. Like, Emrakul isn't even good enough here. Alright. On to sideboarding against humans. Let's get these Romans out of the deck. Get this Blood Moon in. Get these Abrades in. Get these Angers in. Engineered Explosives is a good card. Serum Visions, V-Click, Jace. Is this the kind of matchup we want to bring in the Sarkon Niv Mizzet package? Feels like it might be, given the fact that they've seen the combo now. So, just kind of zig when they expect us to zag. Because they might be boarding out some amount of Vendilion clicks. Probably cut a Cryptic Command and maybe a couple of Jaces here. Because Jace can't defend itself particularly well. So anyways, guys, how's your weekend going? This hand's good. Anger of the Gods plus a couple of dual lands. Yeah, that would be a little bit weird. Tocatli Honor Guard versus humans. It's a very interesting point there, Jan. Double Niv Mizzet is not exactly where we wanted to be. Yeah. But then again, the main reason for do you want my Anger of the Gods or my Blood Moon? Humans is back to just being good instead of broken. So I wouldn't be surprised if our opponent has a Meddling Mage here, which would kind of suck. So I know we have this Anger of the Gods, so they gotta do something about that. Humans was never broken, but there was, before Dredge and some of the graveyard decks started an upswing back the other way, I think it was a lot better. I think the human decks needs to find some way to fight the graveyard decks without, and the fact that Jeskai has kind of made a huge comeback hasn't exactly helped either. Looks like a Meddling Mage to me. Yep. It's because the main card that was used against was Torpor was mainly used against see if our opponent forgets about the Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, the main reason Torpor Orb saw a lot of play was Splinter Twin. We seriously getting another freaking Meddling Mage? Phantasmal Image. Play the Snapcaster Mage just in case. See what it names. Gonna name Niv-Mizzet Parun. Okay, sure. The annoying part about humans is it doesn't really matter how you that's a pretty good card. Oh, I'm definitely playing it. I think we'll wait to pop it till their turn, though. Problem is, Blood Moon isn't going to be quite as effective here. They might have Knight of Autumn, too, to force us to... yeah, here comes Mass Rider. Could have done a lot of things. I just wanted to clear out their board to keep from taking as much damage as possible. Yeah, the stupid freebooter is going to make things slightly annoying. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Presuming they just take Anger of the Gods here. Sure. Interesting game state. Comes another Manus Rider, right? Sure. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, we beat Jund. So do I pop this now? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess they could have Sin Collector, so I think I just gotta take this damage, unfortunately. Yeah, I suppose they could have. Alright, hopefully they don't have something at end of turn to punish us here. Of course they do. Bugler into what? Yeah, probably. Yep, we took unnecessary damage, so therefore we lost. This hand looks fun. We're on the draw without any early interaction besides Remand, so could get run over if it's a creature deck. Well, and me misplaying certainly didn't help. Okay. Death Shadow, maybe? I don't know. I feel like we want the opt here. It's a lot of lands. Hedron Crab. Feel like I'm supposed to remand this. I know, but we still need to cycle it that turn. Maybe, unless they have main deck Surgical or Extraction. Which they very well could have. We'll wait for them to pop that fetch, and then we're gonna snap bolt this Hedron Crab. Yep. This Snapcaster Mage may actually trigger them. I guess not. Alright. Goodbye, Hedron Crab. Yeah, Emrakul hits the graveyard and it's a replacement trigger. This is definitely not Blue Moon's best matchup. Oh yeah, they hit Emrakul. Obviously no Surgical in their main deck. What's up, O'Doyle? How you doing? Yeah, they must have realized they couldn't win there. Don't really have a lot of good tools for this matchup either. They do have some Dispel's decent against some of their stuff. Obviously, Anger of the Gods sucks. We don't have... I'm just trying to think what... do I even want to bring in the engineered explosives? Well, that's good. I don't want to bring in Niv Mizzet in this matchup just because that's how we lose a game. Do we board out Blood Moon here, or can Blood Moon get him sometimes? Like Cryptic's only okay. I guess we board down on bolts. Like we gotta kill them, but at the same time, it only kills a few of their things. Usually they have Hedron Crab, and that's about it. They're definitely going to have Surgical Extraction in this game, or some equivalent thereof. Sure? Yeah, that's part of what I was thinking, Foz. Well, I'm also bringing in a Braid, so Braid kind of plays double duty there, but they're going to have turn 1 Hedron Crab. Of course they are. Now we're going to get Archive trapped, but there's only so much we can do, right? See if they fetch up a basic swamp here. Yeah, they're playing around Blood Moon. They're definitely playing around Blood Moon. Gonna top that to leave them with only one Inquisition target that's already kind of bad anyway. To be fair, Milla's pretty rough on a good portion of the format, so... Any control deck, any mid-range deck that can't get a fast clock, Mardu Pyromancer, Jund, Abzan, Green-Black Rock, any combo deck that relies on graveyards, KCI, Storm, etc. Problem is if they extract Emrakul here, we could be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, Surgical Extraction. Looks like they have Crypt Incursion. Okay, that's a little less bad. But still shuffles in our entire library. The funny part is, I don't even think Blood Moon's good here. So... Storm, it depends on the nature of the Storm player's hand and if they have Surgical Extractions in the main deck. If they have Surgicals in the main deck, then it's a lot worse. Yeah, basically only the fast aggressive decks and certain combo decks can beat it reliably. Like Burn, Humans... Let me guess, you have a fetch land now? Field of Ruin, almost as bad. Crypt Incursion. Alright, those aren't necessarily cards we wanted to see anyway, so... Yeah, double Archive Trap, that's why I was very hesitant to crack those fetch lands at the beginning of the one turn. Guessing here comes Field of Ruin activation. Nope, Glimpse. Oh, man. Gotta presume whatever we put back we're not seeing again, so... Guess we'll do it like that. No, I want Emrakul in my hand because I want to be able to find the combo. And I don't want to lose all copies of Emrakul to Graveyard Shenanigans. Sure, do you want my Vendilion Click, my Blood Moon, or my Opt? If I got Surgical, then I'd be going on the Snapcaster Mage plan. So that was all in all pretty terrible. Put back that. Put back Blood Moon, because Blood Moon doesn't really do anything here. Let's hold up Cryptic Command from here on out. Yeah, I definitely gotta keep Emrakul in hand. Guessing we're gonna get Field of Ruined here. Why not? It would mill us 6 cards, and their last card in hand probably isn't anything spectacular. Braid's not a bad one. Put back Serum Visions, Serum Visions. Play out Lighthouse. Bolt that. Snapcaster. Bolt that one. That way we still have access to a Braid. No, we're not. We still have several Cryptic Commands and Remands in our deck. Alright, there's a fetch land. That's nice. Put back Islands, Serum Visions, play Scalding Turnout. Sure. Eventually we'll find a Through the Breach. Back at Jace, and Searing Visions, play out the Scolding turn. Oh, we already played our land out like a dummy. Guess we're just not going to find it Through the Breach this game. Okay, none of them are exiled either. Blood Moon's already kind of pointless here. Visions of Beyond. I currently have 13, they currently have 9 resolves. Mesmeric Orb. Let's go ahead and remand this. Alright, there's the Through the Breach. Back Jason Opt. Good game, well played, friend. Alright, so 2-1. Just lost a poorly played match against humans. Beat Mill. And beat Jund. Yeah. Emrakul game 1 bailed us. And the fact that we had some pretty decent cards in the sideboard for the matchup, and the sideboard kind of helped. Between the Dispels, the Abrades, and the Engineered Explosives, gave us quite a few outs to their main deck stuff. Plus, they still had to find Crypt Incursions and Surgicals for our Emrakuls. So, just want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Foz, Jankovic, Space Marine, O'Doyle. It's always fun hanging out with you guys. It's fun playing Magic and just talking to people. Obviously, this Niv Mizzet Sarkhan package feels a little lackluster, but we really haven't played any games in which it would be spectacular anyway. The Humans matchup felt okay because they saw Through the Breach game 1, but I suspect in hindsight that was not a good matchup for it either. This is kind of a weird hand. I wasn't going to bring that up, guys. It's kind of in the past, you know. Just be straight up with me. That's all I ever ask. Is this a keep or a mulligan? Feels like a keep, but it's kind of close. Does feel like the deck might have too many steam vents. Might have been a mull. Sure. We up against fairies, or are we up against... There are two different types of lying. There's lying by not being factual, and then there's lying by not telling somebody when you know the truth. As humans, we tend to think the latter is less serious, but it's still lying in the situation. Fuzz, it's fine, man. Are you freaking kidding me? This isn't the same opponent we just played against, is it? Nope. Maybe. We'll see. Suppose I should have actually held up Lightning Bolt there for Hedron Crab. Yep. Hopefully they hit an Emrakul here. Nope. Wow. Alright, now we just need to find an Emmy. We'll see. Some of these decks still do run Surgical in the main deck, so there's no guarantee that would be a guaranteed win. Sure. I've seen a few people running that version. I haven't gotten around to testing it myself, Steve. But I would certainly take a look at it. See if they have Surgical Extraction. This might very well bait it out. Lightning Bolt. They're going to be a very sad panda when they hit a Emrakul. Yeah, Burn can be a rough matchup for Shadow, especially if there's not enough collective brutalities in the going around party. Alright, so obviously this player is a lot better equipped. So we have 26 cards, 3 Emeralds. Hopefully we find one. Sweet. Well, it was fun, friend. 2 and 1. I punted terribly against humans. Definitely want the Dispels. Definitely want the Abrades. The third Blood Moon might be alright. Yeah, the problem is a lot of decks are playing like Nature's Claim, Abrade, and stuff because of KCI, because of various hate cards. So, I'll get rid of that. Get rid of a couple copies of Lightning Bolt here. Probably just the 2 Blood Moons, and then Anger of the Gods. I'm like, what other card did we cut last time? Yeah, Steven, if you just want to email the list or send it to me on Twitter or leave it in one of the comments of the video, one of the shadow videos, I'll take a look at it. Platinum Empyrean's usually better as a sideboard plan against a lot of decks. This hand's probably keepable, but also kind of slow. So we're probably going to get Archive trapped on one, but we got to fetch the island anyway, so whatever. Getting glimpsed here. Collective Brutality. I guess if we get our Through the Breach taken here, our Emeralds can become pretty useless. I don't know if you take Remand here or if you take Opt. Like, Breach keeps us from comboing them, but I think Opt and Remand are bigger problems. I take Remand. Alright. Well, I almost wish they would have taken Through the Breach now. Life total isn't really a resource in this matchup, so I'm just going to do that to bluff here. Or if we like opt into a Lightning Bolt and want to bolt their face to set up a Snapcaster or something. say Blood Moon could kind of get him if they're not careful. Hopefully they haven't drawn an archive trap, but if they have... oh well. Good bit of their spells cost black mana, so that could hamstring them a little bit. They had a basic swamp, never mind. JK. Pretty good War Dog, how you doing? Okay, so we lose our Snapcaster Mage here. Snaring Bridge. Alright, yeah, that one makes sense. Doing alright. Alright, Steve, I'll take a look at it after the stream. Now we have a decision point to... okay, there's the land. There's an Abrade. We'll get rid of that and one copy of that. Just play this up and hope Yahtzee happens. Do need to find Emrakul to kind of end this game. Mesmeric Orb, yeah, sure. Okay, extraction's annoying. Buy us a turn, because they don't have the extra mana source to cast it. Never mind, they do. JK. No Emrakuls. Alright. Well, that's sweet. Hopefully they don't have a surgical here. Okay, so your last card's a surgical. This looks like we're setting up for the Jace win. Nope. Oh, you can keep one of those. To be blunt, I ended up getting sick the week before and had to call off, so sure, yeah, Soul's Betrayal doesn't matter here. Nope. Yeah, a lot of things have been disappointing lately, but that was my own fault. I got sick, so I didn't have an extra call off to have for that day. So, my own choices led to whatever happening. Alright, so Jace Ultimate gets there. So now we will have a pity chest regardless of what happens here. I can try to play a match in a hurry before the dogs need walked. But honestly, I would rather just be able to finish the match without worrying about time constraints. So, really kind of hard to get a gauge on the deck list right now. I think the Niv Mizzet Sarkon package is just too cute. I think I need more traditional cards on the sideboard. Beyond that, I mean, like, I still might like a Niv Mizzet or two for, like, the control matchups, but even most of those have, like, Path to Exile and such. Beyond that, the deck feels like we need, like, one or two answers to big fat dumb idiots, like Tarmogoyf and such, like Dismember or Harvest Pyre, something to just answer Tarmogoyf straight up. So I'm down because that's probably the best. Yeah, well, the original deck did have the Empyrean package. The problem with the Empyrean package, though, Doyle, is then you can't sideboard in Engineered Explosives. So, that's why I don't necessarily like the Platinum Empyrean package in this list, because of Engineered Explosives. And I think Engineered Explosives is kind of important. Like, it's been important in a lot of these matchups so far. So, beyond that, I mean, 3-1, can't really argue with that too terribly much. I'll let you guys know how the final match goes, but that's probably going to be a beat. That's pretty sweet, Space Marine. So, anywho, Wardog, send me a message about how you guys did, who played what, etc. Foz, did you ever get a list worked out with Doubling Season yet that you liked? And Space Marine, I'll take a closer look at your Miracles list later, along with Steven's Grixis Shadow list. I'll probably be streaming again for a little bit later, but it's going to be Arena. I'm going to do a little bit of ladder grinding. I managed to make it to Golds here already, but Gold's been a little bit rough going, so we'll see if I can turn that around with a couple matches tonight. But beyond that, I'm going to finish this match off camera, last match off camera, and then probably be back around 11-ish, do a little bit of Arena just for kind of a chill end of the night thing, and then pick up tomorrow morning with probably either Steven's Grixis Shadow list or maybe Space Marine's Miracles list. So, beyond that, I hope everybody has a fantastic evening, and if you come back for the Arena stream later, yeah, you can send the Hex list if you want. But beyond that, I hope everybody has a great evening, and hope to catch everybody during the Arena stream. If not, have a good night. This has been Dusk for Dusted On Gaming.